Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon. We welcome you all to the Kuman Lampak Stadium as Neroca Football Club. They gear up for kickstarting their I League 2 campaign, I League 2 2025-26. And it's going to be Neroca Football Club locking horns against a formidable Delhi FC. Well, there's lots to talk about as this game will be taking center stage. But with that being said, both the teams, they'll be looking to get in some serious momentum. Well, of course, goes without saying, Delhi Football Club. Here they are, the teams. They arrive in the center. They march out with a lot of intent. Delhi FC, obviously, they are a team that's rife with youngsters, a side that's always looking to make an impact in all possible ranks of Indian football. And at the other end, Neroca Football Club. They are here at the Kumar Lampak Stadium. This is their home ground. What a picturesque evening altogether. Not too hot, not too cold, obviously. Fairly pleasant, and the ideal weather to play football as well. The two captains, Himanshu Jangra, spearheading Delhi Football Club, and at the other end, obviously, it is Rohit Matei. Today's match officials, Jairul Islam, the referee, Habibullah Firdaus and Riju Mondol, the assistant referees, and Bimalendu Mondol is uh, Imran Khan, our match commissioner for the day, will be having his task cut out because these two teams, I mean, they are so emotionally charged teams. We'll take a look at how Neroca FC lines up. Under the sticks, it's Pratik. In the four-man backline, Kishan, Arun Kumar, Sanathoy, and Rohit, their captain. In the three-man midline, Shibajit, Suranjit, Michael, and up top, it's Amarjit, Aloysius, and Sanathoy. It goes without saying, the likes of Suranjit, Shibajit, Michael out in the center, they play a crucial role in formulating the crux of the side. And at the other end, of course, on the bench, they've got the likes of Preetham Kumar, they've got the likes of Surchandra, Muktasana. Watch out for them. And David Singh, don't miss him out. David Singh, he's been a senior player with the side. Delhi Football Club under the chaperonage of Lobjang Dorzi. Under the sticks, it's Mohan Sangha. In the four-man backline, Neeraj, Justin, Karthik, and Sana. The four-man midline, Gautam, Samson, Akash, Aditya, and Himanshu Jangra and Nooba up top. Of course, all eyes will be on Himanshu, a very seasoned campaigner. On the bench, Dhanajit, Arjun, Priyanshu, Nirbhay, Twanlal, Tonsing, Suhail. And we're underway here at the Command Lampak Stadium. One can expect this to be a full-blown cracker. Two high-octane teams, two fairly contrasting teams when it comes to getting their strengths in one place. Delhi FC more focused on maintaining that structure of theirs, maintaining the lines. Neroca FC, on the contrary, they are a team that's always well known for the kind of intensity, the kind of speed that they bring into the game. A very fast paced team. They've got the players who can effect those quick transitions and who can make a lot of difference as well. We expect to see a few early exchanges which will be fast and furious, especially with the likes of Arjun Singh, Aditya Sindhi in that midline of Delhi FC, coming all the way from the wings. Arjun manning that left, Aditya manning that right. And for Neroca, of course, the likes of Shuranjit, Shivajit, and Michael, especially Shivajit Singh. I mean, he's been around for a while now, knows the circuit well enough. And that's good link up football. But wonderfully done there, muscled out of possession. And this is what you have to do because, especially against a team like Neroca, that can be really fast. That's wonderfully done. Himanshu wins the ball. And Himanshu almost shoved out of possession there. Referee says that's by the books out there. Shoulder pushes are allowed. We'll have to take a look if that was a shoulder push or there was a clear show on Himanshu Jangra. But what a run that. Won the ball just in that box out there before he could pull the trigger. There was some serious infringement, but then the referee says that's not an infringement. It's basically a shoulder push that's happened. And it's more than enough for the referee to continue playing. That's some early intent from Delhi FC, and of course, that's also a warning sign that they kind of posted out loud enough, making it loud and clear that every chance they get is a chance where they'll try and hit Neroca. Doesn't matter if it's on the break, doesn't matter if it's on the counter. It's all about just getting the right reinforcements in play. Another one of those long throws, Justin George to hammer that in. One of those impressive players rising through the ranks. Cleared away comfortably enough by Neroca. Once again, trying to go in with that speed out there. Akash Tirki, he's been impressive in recent times. The kind of stature that he brings in, the kind of speed as well. Youngsters like Akash Tirki obviously adds to the depth of the squad. Delhi FC, they are trying to consolidate their position in the game. There was a bit of passing showers ahead of the game. Also kind of changes out the texture of the ground given the fact that it's a natural ground, it's not a synthetic turf. So of course at times you will see the ball skidding after it lands. Those long balls, it can be a real source of trouble for the defenders. Rohit Matei with the free kick. Launches it downtown. And Justin George once again using that stature of his does well to get the ball out of harm's way. No risk taken. Both the coaches as well. Very experienced. One end, obviously, Gift Rekhan. been a part of Neroca FC now, the kind of campaigner that he is. An excellent game reader. That's another lovely ball. Himanshu once again on it. And a lovely bit of shielding out there from Sanatoy, just coming in front, just coming into the trajectory of Himanshu there, not really allowing him that free leeway so that he could pull the trigger. That's good anticipation there as well. Now, this is one advantage that Neroca has, a team that plays together, a team that's nurturing a core group of players. Once again, wonderfully done there. That extended boot from Karthik, denying what could have been an excellent layoff. A little knock forward there, done very gently as well. But Karthik ensuring that the gates were sealed. The gates were sealed, rather. Shivajit with that corner. And that's a very good delivery. There were a couple of Neroca players trying to capitalize. Just couldn't get in the right amount of connection. But that delivery certainly had an element of tease out there. Kind of flashing in front of the entire phalanx of defenders. A couple of Neroca players as well. Justin finding Neeraj on the left. Juan Sanga, another promising youngster under the sticks. One might expect him to go ahead, take the stand and just come in handy enough. Still not tested in today's game. I think Neroca, it's been a while now, ever since that 2023-24 I-League. They've been kind of in a downward spiral, so they'll try and get out of it. They'll try and show the quality, the caliber, the gentry that they eventually bring to the table. They are a team that's tested. They are a team that's duked it out in the hallowed echelons of the Indian Football League. And now a side in the I-League too, of course, they'll try and show that they are doing everything possible to regain that lost glory. Delhi FC, on the contrary, once again banking upon the youngsters, the young guns, to bring in that fire, the feisty attitude, the body language as well. Himanshu, I reckon that will have to stop as the flag was up. The flag's still up, and finally the referee gets a view of the same. It's a while that the assistant referee had his flag up for the offside trap, and Jairul Islam, I think he didn't get an eye on it, so he said, like, let's keep it rolling. But then I reckon a bit of communication coming out as well, and Jairul Islam making the call. And that should have been better. Justin George. I mean, when the ball came to him from Juan Sanga, there was a very meek lateral ball which came, and a player of his stature, without any pressure on him, what he did is he missed it, complicated affairs, and by the time he could come around, there was an infringement in the build-up. And now that allows Neroca to fire in a free kick from a very good position. They've got Shibaji, they've got Rohit Matei. Shivajit launches that one. Comfortably taken care of, wonderfully headed away as well. And now Himanshu Jangra with lots of space ahead of him. He's got someone making the run on the right. He'll have to switch that though. A bit of confusion. Once again, relying more on hope instead of precision there. He was trying to set it up to the right. But that delivery could have been better. It kind of went away from Nooba, and by the time Nooba could maraud inside that box, trying to attack the ball, was already miles away. And also, I reckon in the entire process, Prateek Singh, he himself was on the fence as well. Ideally, there's a goalkeeper who might just come out of his line trying to cut down the trajectory of the ball completely. Another one of those long balls, and Himanshu stays onside. Himanshu, 1 versus 3. In fact, 1 versus 4 now. Time and time again, Himanshu Jangra proving to be really lethal out there. And this is where Delhi FC will have to amplify the support system for Himanshu. Get a couple of players behind him, try and give him that edge, try and give him that link up, which can actually fructify and give a bit of a sting to the overall attacks of Delhi FC. Or else it'll just be a solitary, a lone warrior in the wilderness, hoping that he'll just open up the shooting lane with one of those strikes. That's a long ranger. And Mohan Sangha does well to throw his body and eventually parried away to safety. But this is where Delhi FC will also have to be wary. A couple of glaring signs out there. Lack of support system for Himanshu Jangra. And now just with that one shot, the entire Delhi FC defense split apart. All the hard work that you do, a team like Neroca, they come up with a box of surprises. You can never really keep them out from it. Shivajit, he's got the space to launch the cross. He does. That's wonderfully done. From here, Delhi, once again, Nooba. He's got a bit of heavy taping around that knee of his, which can be a warning sign, which can be a spot of bother for Lobzang Dorji. And that's well done. No risk taken by Neeraj Bhandari. With the big man, Himanshu Jangra, still the focal point of Delhi FC's attacks. Oh, that's a lovely ball in the box. Had a dicey curl on it. Oh, wonderfully done again. Brilliant. Lost his shape, but regained himself, won the ball back. Just couldn't find the space to penetrate. Another knock forward. Way too much power on the ball. Was always going away. Juan Sanga had to come up with that save a few moments ago. Player of his stature. Someone so young, full of energy, more like that pocket dynamite under the sticks. You need a goalkeeper who can communicate with your defense. Again, a desperate attempt there to keep the ball in play from the left. But not to be. Taken away in no time at all. Both the sides still to test each other. Himanshu had a chance. A couple of good runs from that big man. But once denied because of indecision. The second time just couldn't get the ball right for an advancing Nooba. But that's an incredible ball now. And a lovely run from Sanatoi. Good bit of body shielding as well. And Wansanga finally coming out of that line, collecting that. Good early movements already. Akash. Back to Akash. Trying to cut in. Tripped along the way by Rohit Mate. Will lead to a free kick here. A bit of disappointment there. But the problem is Akash Tirki looks to be in a lot of discomfort. And in fact, in the process, Suranjit just turned around and gesticulated to his team that maybe you need a replacement. Akash Tirki, he's back. He's back on his feet. Incredible plan altogether. Himanshu's there. He's going to be the one to take it. Bit of a false alarm eventually, and then after all the shenanigans that they might have gone through 1,000 times in the training sessions, they go for it, and at the end of the day, the product that came in front of us, that was fairly agricultural. That should have been better. No understanding, the entire attacking unit kind of stood gaping at the ball as it sailed over, and it sailed out of the park as well. Yeah, that clearly was a push, leading to this free kick now in favor of Delhi FC. The Delhi FC defense has done well in maintaining that composure. Had a challenge when one of those long rangers had to be parried away by Mohan Sanga. And that should be a free kick here. Sanatoy is trying to break free with those quick turns, but then just couldn't get the space. Also, he was kind of losing that balance as well. So does well to keep the ball under control, and eventually in the process, in that entanglement, draws a foul and a free kick from a very good position for the Orange Brigade. Rohit once again, he's got that vicious left footer, can swing the ball. He's got that in swinger that might just come in. Rohit sends it straight into the hands of Mohan Sanga. And he'll take that ball any day long. And he sends it downtown. Himanshu with a wonderful bit of first touch there. Lovely header to get the ball under control. But then, by the time he could steer it onto his boots out there, the defensive intervention was already enough to send the ball out of the park, resulting in another corner. But that was a decent ball from Mohan Sanga. Kind of covered a lot of distance, allowing Himanshu Jangra to set himself up for what could have been another possible shot on target. But again, the defense of Neroca standing tall time and time again, nullifying the possible attacks of Delhi. And that's a flat corner, and it leads to some serious troubles. The deadlock has been broken. Delhi FC strikes out of the chaos. It was a stroke of certainty. Out of the confusion, it was a stroke of confidence. Samson with the corner there, launched it into the box. Once again, we'll take a look out there. Looked like it was Nova in front. And after a couple of ricochets, the ball went into the back of the net. But nonetheless, Delhi FC, they had the lead. They had the cushion that they were looking forward to. Time and time again came up with those long balls. Himanshu Jangra definitely looked deadly. But then they get the goal from a set piece. Football, it can change course in no time at all. Another one of those long hauls there. Trying to find Aditya Sindhi along the way. Neroca now trying to stick to that Route 1 brand of football, long balls into both wings. Rohit delivers that ball in the box out there, and that half-baked shot. Well, that's the confirmation. Neeraj Bhandari with the score, with the goal there. Just a few moments ago. Let's take a look out there. Not an average delivery. It certainly had an element of menace to it. It's just that the player who came around just couldn't get hold of the ball. And now Delhi FC again from the right. Lovely bit of ball control from Samson. And Samson, he latches on to the ball, does well to release that forward, but eventually the delivery that came in all the way from the right, that kind of lost its track. That's classy. A cheeky turn to shake off his markers, a little drop back, and a shot from distance. Dragged wide on that occasion. But this is where Neroca looks like that goal out there that they have conceded has galvanized them into something more consequential. Couple of decent attacks from the right in Sanatoi with those little tweaks, turns, twists and burns, leaving almost 2 to 3 defenders of Delhi FC twisted in a knot like never before. Now Delhi once again trying to use that wing, cutting in sharply to open things up. Just doesn't get the space to propel the ball forward. Akash finds Aditya on the left. But again, they kind of fail to create that space out there. And that's good 1-2 football. Sanatoy, he's been so good on the right. Michael Singh sends it all the way into the Delhi box. The intent so far from Delhi FC has been really good. I mean, they have used both the wings and even a couple of attacks through the center. It just allows them to open things up, to flap their wings majestically, creating that additional bit of problem for Neroca, almost keeping them busy in that own half of theirs. Despite the last 5 to 10 minutes, they have ventured forward, trying to use that right wing and a couple of decent balls as well. They came out in the box, good link up football as well, but just couldn't get the shot on target. Himanshu to come up with that free kick there. He's got Akash as well next to him. Couple of players together. It will be Akash. Once again, a bit of confusion out there. Eventually launches the ball in the box. Falls at the feet of Neroca. Now Sanatoy. Neroca. They've got a couple of Sanatoys. One called by the name of Sana. The other one Sanatoy. One in the defense, one in the attack. And now that was more of a clueless ball. Just hammered forward all the way. Delhi, they are definitely savouring a lot of the possession so far. Easy pickings for Prateek Singh. Invited into the act for the first time. Out of his line, does well to collect the ball. Once again, trying to find that run from Sanatoy there, and he started that as well. Good bit of interception. Delhi FC defense. This is where they will be tested. Another one of those forward balls. The idea was to try and find Himanshu on the run itself. But Himanshu, he understood that at the first go. And the ball's going to go away from him, miles away. Neroca. They come from the left, trying to get the cross in. A bit of a blockade along the way. Neeraj Bhandari certainly not happy with the way that ball was repelled away. Again, you don't want to concede a corner, and that's possibly what Neeraj is trying to tell his teammates. There were better ways to deal with the ball. That kind of confidence is what really seems worthwhile. Floats the corner towards that far post. And Mohan Sangha couldn't really collect the ball at the first shot itself. Spilt it. And Neroca, they were attacking the ball with their tails up. But then that touch that Mohan Sangha got to the ball was more than enough to take it miles away from any possible line of attack. Another knock forward, just trying to drag the ball in. There wasn't much that he could have done, but here Delhi, they win the ball. For a moment, they kind of stopped themselves, hoping that they'll get a throw in. They eventually do concede a throw in. But this is where a bit of match awareness should come in from them. Till the time you haven't heard a whistle, maybe just go in. Duke it out for the ball. Because there have been multiple times from where positions like these have resulted in some severe unspooling. Another one of those good pushes forward, Rohit Matey. Rohit does well to speed past, win the ball, trying to knock it forward. But that square delivery, it's gone all wrong. Once again, Himanshu now in pursuit, but Himanshu, by the time he could come around, that ball was miles away. There was no way he was reaching there in time. Down to the park it goes. A little twist to the left and right there. Good combination play. That's a wonderful ball forward. Neroca will have to keep that. Aloysius pushes it back for his teammate. He had to wheel back a lot more. Delhi, they've got too many players in the box. Mohan Sangha, once again, unable to collect the ball there. Almost patted it to his opposition. These are worrying signs for Mohan Sangha. Finally, a sigh of reprieve. He'll take the ball, he'll go down, try and steal away a few crucial seconds, and more importantly, he can at least try and control the tempo for a while. These are worrying signs. That's not the first time that Mohan Sangha, he spilt a ball a few moments ago from the corner. He almost got it all wrong, but his defenders were close by to compensate for what he did. And once again, thanks to his fortune that his teammate was right nearby, steering the ball away from a couple of Neroca players. This is where Mohan Sangha, understandable that he's fairly young, learning the ropes of the sport. But again, when you learn on the job as well, you also have to show a bit of composure instead of being overtly excited. Bit of confusion, and finally amongst the defender, I reckon it was a call that came from Sanatoi, urging Pratik to charge out. Pratik does so, eventually getting it away for a throw in. And this is the kind of communication you would want with Pratik. He should have started a bit too early as well, because as a defender with almost a player in the backup, it's kind of hard to try and shield it out. Someone who's coming all the way from in front has a better view of what's behind. A gentle flick in the box, a glancing header as well. Pratik ensured that he's covering the frame of the goal, but the ball nonetheless goes out of the park for a goal kick. Counts it downtown, and just maybe looking out for those overlaps on the right. But you need a better ball for that. Went straight back to Pratik. Now Neroca on the tussle. Good bit of ball control in a lovely attempt to try and flick it as well. Very alert defending there from Delhi FC. Just getting the ball away from their counterparts. Sanatoi again. Sanatoi flicking it forward. He had to keep it down there, and that's exactly what is being told to him by his teammate. That rush out there, that rush of blood in Sanatoi's hand, just trying to chip it forward. Not the best of options that he could have availed. This is exactly where Delhi FC proliferates. That equanimity up top is what makes them different from Neroca. Neroca, understandably, doing that hard work, have done their due diligence. The only problem is when you come to the final third, there is where the art of when to shoot, when to get hold of the ball, when to let it go, how to let it go. All of these factors come into the frame. Long throw from Shivaji, a bit of a backheader. Sanatoi trying his best to track the ball in. But once again, a lot of pace on the ball, and especially after the passing Shahs, the ball is eventually skidding along the surface. The moment it starts skidding, it will go away from you. So as a player as well, it's not really easy. That's where both the teams have struggled a bit. But at the same time, if we take a look at the game, more or less a fairly decent game. Good exchange of the ball, good tactical maneuvers altogether, kind of countering each other with precision. A decent attempt to try and launch it into the cantering stride of Himanshu. Just doesn't get it right, and now a free kick, and that's the first yellow card of the game as well. Looks like Samson, it is. He's gone into the referee's book. A bit of flared tempers. Your teammate has just got a yellow card a few seconds ago, so understandably the effect, the aftershocks still linger on. It's a wonderful ball, but then the first touch again, a massive letdown. You're getting the ball out here, you have to calm yourself down. Aloysius had to get behind the ball, had to control that, possibly try and square off his teammate with the first touch itself. Felt like that he was already thinking about trying to lay off the ball. That's a confirmation. Samson going into the referee's book. Another one of those runs out there from Noova was halted out there. And a bit of a heated discussion instantly with his teammate Himanshu. Possibly wanted Himanshu to take up a bit of space out there, create that distance so the ball could have been played to him. Himanshu was kind of nearby. It's not really easy to just knit together a pass with so many players serenading you. Again, kind of surprising, the ball knocked forward. Should have tried to come up with that cross on the first go itself. "36 minutes on the clock. Good pace so far from both the sides. Intent is well on the fleek. The only challenge is the decisiveness in the penetrative zone. The kind of precision that you will need in the final third, that's somewhat lacking from both sides. Once again, Aloysius is not just getting the touches right. That ball should have been an incredible chance for him to latch on to, knock forward, and try and create something. Unfortunately, what happens is that little twist that Aloysius comes up with just fails to control the ball again. This time does well to win the ball. But again, the consequent delivery, the resultant ball from where he could have actually launched some trouble, inflicted some trouble on Delhi FC, that was all over the place. Goes on. One turn after the other, one twist after the other. Muan Sanga tested. But that ball, once again, not hitting the bullseye. And Neroca now daring a lot more, showing that audacity of going for the long rangers. It was a wonderful turn to control the ball, despite the fact that it went away after the first touch. There wasn't any Delhi FC player, so the shooting lane opened up, and he decided to whammy one. But then the target practice could have been better. At least could have tested out Mohan Sanga a bit more. But this is the kind of intent, this is the kind of football you will expect from the Orange Brigade, a side that's been in the Indian footballing echelons for a while now. Shivajit knocks it forward for Aloysius, but Aloysius nowhere nearby. He's trying to run forward without even figuring out that there were two defenders along the way who's done a phenomenal bit of job to close it all down, block the road, and take it away. But Neroca a lot more active in the last 5 to 8 minutes. That composure is slowly and steadily sinking in. You're getting the experience that they have on board. You're bringing them together, especially the likes of Shibajit Singh, another one of those seasoned campaigners in the Orange Brigade, showing what he's capable of in the midline, dropping deep if needed, helping his team in the attack as well, knocking forward. And if he finds the shooting lane open, even ajar by an inch, he'll try his luck from range. That's exactly what he's done a few moments ago. Twice, in fact. Went for the shot once, tried to set it up for Aloysius once. But Neroca's first touches, they need a bit of work out there. They need a bit of burnishing. Onto the right here, Michael. Rohit. Does well to keep the ball. Sanatoy. A little inside, trying to just find out that way. Hoping that he could fox his marker with that little maneuver, little outside dodge as well. Possession stays with Neroca, however. Now this is where they'll have to show that decisiveness. Rohit does well to win the ball. Neroca plays on, easily headed away, but finally the referee will get a bit of hold up. This player who's down on the pitch will need some medical attention. It's Arjun Singh seeking treatment. He's all right. He will continue. It's just that he needs a bit of a breather. Also, a bit of a knock on that shin bone of his. So that little icing, that little magic spray, that should be more than enough for him to get back on his feet. Tonks it forward there. Samson couldn't really win the ball. Might just go a bit light as well. Got booked a few moments ago. Good fluid brand of football so far. Not too many stoppages. That's the kind of football you want to see, especially with these two teams. Fairly young. That's good link up football now from the right. Wonderful ball! And once again, that's a brilliant save by Muan Sanga. He had to come up with that crucial hand to it to parry that out of danger. Shivajit now tries his luck. I reckon that's taken a deflection along the way and will be a corner. But what a wonderful bit of play out there. That's the kind of football Neroca will need. Lovely one touches and finally a brilliant ball in the box. Aloysius could have put a bit more power, could have injected a bit more power onto the ball. That could have taken it away from Muan Sanga, but Muan Sanga just dropping in the nick of time, parrying it away, and doing so incredibly well. Well done, Muan Sanga. Absolutely well done. Shibajit with the corner. Kind of a surprising technique used by Muan Sanga. Kind of made out that space open, but nonetheless got hold of the ball. He's got very safe hands. Neroca wins it back. And they'll have to react fast till the time because otherwise they'll allow Delhi to slot back in the defense, fall back, reinstore the defensive reinforcements. That's a good knock, but then miles away from Sanatoy, he will only linger around, hoping that maybe the ball was a little less powerful. It should have been a good gathering for him, but nonetheless, Muan Sanga is growing in stature. Had a couple of false collections, had the pump, had the scanner on him, but he's done well. He's done well to come out of that little rut that he's had early on in the game. And since then, he's evolved. He's looking good. He's looking a lot more confident. And just a few moments ago, that's another lovely ball. Good turn from Samson. Trying to find Himanshu along the way, but not to be. Kind of takes it away from Himanshu Jangra, but Himanshu started off well, with that little burst of explosiveness. Good ball onto the right. But this time Pratik does well, coming out of his line, straight away, gathering the ball without any fuss whatsoever. And that's really good to see. And that's a wonderful bit of work out there. A little shake of the shoulder sends the entire midline shaking there for Delhi. Another cross towards the far side. Aloysius miles away from the frame of the goal. And from there he went for a glancing header. Not really sure. Lack of situational awareness. Should have bammed it straight into the goal. It's understandable. He had Muan Sanga, but he was already going miles away from the goal. He was nowhere nearby in the frame. A glancing header from that, he connected all right. But that placement certainly didn't go in as you would expect. And this is where he needed a bit more composure. This is where he needed just to be calm around. Again, understandable. First game of the tournament. You will need a bit more match time. You'll need a bit more game time to just get into the groove out there and, try and do what's important, try and do what's right. Aloysius, he's definitely made the maneuvers in the box. He's looked good. He's been physically strong. And these are not the best of signs. 45 minutes have elapsed. We're still waiting that extra time altogether. How many minutes will be added on? We'll quickly confirm that. 2 minutes is what has been given, but I reckon it will just go on for a bit more because the first minute itself, it all went on. Looks like Arjun Singh, is it? In fact, Sana Mitain, he's not really looking in good shape. Can be replaced for the second half. It's interesting if Punjab they'll actually go forward with the replacement straight away. They'll have to get it ready. Sana looked well, looked solid in that defensive back line. All the four defenders combining well in the 4-4-2 formation. That's not the best of touches. Allowing Punjab FC, apologies, allowing Delhi FC to get hold of the ball, knocking it forward. But it eventually eludes everyone. The sudden surge of aggression altogether. It's looked well, but now Himanshu's gone down. First 45 minutes had a fairly clean brand of football, but now a couple of medical challenges taking place after that extra bit of time was taken. Looks like Himanshu, he isn't the best of shapes out there. Not really sure what's happened. But definitely that expression from Himanshu looked like he was in a lot of agony. And the referee's urged for a stretcher. Himanshu says, I will not need it, I'll just need some time. Might have been a bit of a collision that has knocked the winds out of his sails. He's getting back up. The stretcher comes out nonetheless. Might need a bit of assistance going out. Again, at times, football, being a body contact sport, being a very hard sport, those collisions can at times be very, very painful. But it's really good to see how all the players from Neroca, Shibajit himself came up, his counterpart, Rohit Mitei, the captain of Neroca, came up, just had a chat with him. And this kind of proves the point that we all have been trying to make, even in the international spheres and the world footballing scene as well. Of late, we've seen a lot of banners that football helps you to get together. And that's exactly that little example, that little spectacle we had out there is what tells you that what football is all about, getting players together, irrespective of the rivalry on the pitch, outside the pitch. It's that friendship, that camaraderie. Wonderful ball in the box there. I'm not really sure why he wanted to cushion it. Actually was at a range from where he could have converted that one. But the referee, he's had enough. And Jairul Islam blows the whistle at the end of the first half. Delhi Football Club, they have a very slender lead. Neeraj Bhandari scoring from a corner. Neroca FC definitely a lot more active, a lot more involved in the game after that. But it will still need some catching up to do. With this, we come to the end of the first half. And as things stand at the end of the first 45 minutes, Neroca FC 0, Delhi FC 1. Will take a short breather and be back with the second half of the contest. Stay tuned, everyone. a quick look at the highlights as well. The game had an element of physicality, a few long ranges as well, and then came the moment where it all changed. A lot of bodies in the box, and eventually it was a ricochet of Neeraj Bhandari. And since then, Naroka, they have tried their luck coming up with shots from the range. Good little tweaks and turns. Just couldn't get the shot. A good save on that occasion from Wansanga. And then Shibajit with a shot from range, dragging it slightly wide. But this was an incredible opportunity. Lovely 1-2 football, good link up football. And then Wansanga once again bailing Delhi FC out of the rut that they were. But nonetheless, that was how first half ended. Once again, stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back with the second half of the contest. Hello and a warm welcome, everyone. We are back for the second half of the contest. At the end of the first half, of course, Delhi FC, they had a cushion and a change out there. Finally, a show of experience out there from Neroca as they bring on David Singh. And also a change from Delhi FC as well. That not one but two changes. Priyanshu making his way to the center. And Rohit Rawat making his way to the mix as well. It's going to be interesting to see how David operates from here on. Because David, he's been a part of I League that's now being re-questioned as Star Cement IFL this year. His inclusion to the side, it's all about getting an additional bit of momentum, kind of control, the kind of movement, and more importantly, the kind of shooting prowess that David Singh has. And at the other end, of course, Delhi with those two changes. Off we roll in the second half of the contest, attacking on your frame from the left to the right. In their black, it's Delhi FC, and on your frame attacking from the right to the left in their orange, it's the Orange Brigade, Neroca FC. Good bit of movement out there. David straight away into the act, releases one, but this time solid goalkeeping from Juan Sanga. Kept his eyes on the ball to the last moment. Got his body behind the ball as well. Fundamentals done right.
Substitution for Neroca FC.
That's the kind of intensity that you would expect from Neroca here.
Is replaced by
If they are to equalize, if they are to restore parity in this fixture, they'll have to go
substitution for Delhi
at
Football
higher
Club.
pace. They'll have to go with more intensity.
Jersey number 10, Samson Kai Singh is replaced by jersey number 27, Priyanshu.
But Delhi FC, it also is kind of clear that they won't sit back and defend.
Substituted by
They are here to make their case.
26,
One of those long throws being readied right now. Knocked into the box, parried away, and a shot on the turn. But good collection by Pratik as well. It looks like there's been another change as well. So there are three changes for Delhi. Even Dhanajit Ashanbam has come on. Now Neroca from the right. Good bit of flair on display. But eventually the final ball from where possibly a shooting lane could have opened up. That didn't come in through. Himanshu from the left. A little run check there, waiting for his teammates to arrive. And then launches it towards the far side. Rohit Rawat was caught in that offside trap. Rohit trying to throw in a bit of chaos out there, a bit of a shade against his counterpart, just hoping to launch a bit of confusion in the mix. Pratik right now will have to just keep that composure of his. Delhi. With the inclusion of these two players, Nanajeet to the center, again trying to square off his teammate wide on the left, just doesn't get the pass right. But that's a wonderful ball here. David pushing hard, propelling himself, thrusting himself, wasn't enough. Just couldn't get hold of the ball. And this is exactly why David was being brought to the center. 50 minutes on the taker. It's a good amount of game time remaining, obviously. 'Both these teams, they have really been tactically solid. It's kind of impressive about how they have approached this game per se. That is very, very important, especially when you have to gauge out how your opposition might go against you, especially a team like Punjab, a team like Delhi, rather. Apologies. They have got the venom, they've got the speed, can burst forward in no time at all. Those long balls, especially with those towering forwards up front, the likes of Himanshu Jangra, the likes of Naoba, they combine well. That was a good ball in the box there. Loshius was nearby, but just didn't get hold of the ball. David now from the left again. David, 1 versus 2. That's a fine bit of snatch. Shivajit cutting in. Didn't get any space whatsoever to take that shot. Jammed away. A gentle flick forward. And the shot from Michael Singh. Not really able to find that space. Gets turned out. Now the corner. It was from a corner where Delhi FC got their noses ahead in the game. Can Neroca return the favour? Rohit Mate, not the best of corners. There was a bit of an untoward twirl on the ball. It goes miles away. Fairly distant from any Neroca player in the mix. They'll have to drop back at the earliest. Arun Kumar saying, not really the busiest of days in office for Arun Kumar or the Neroca defense together. There hasn't been a constant wave of attacks. But now Delhi, they're hoping to try and get something of their own. They'll have to, if they have to trouble the Neroca defense more frequently, they'll have to stretch out the defense. Because right now, most of their attacks have been more centrally located. Good little runs from Himanshu Jangra and Nova. And now with Rohit Rawat coming on, he can stretch out the Naroka defense. Loves to play along the lines. That's a good run. Does well. But again, brilliant bit of shielding. No space allowed by Rohit Mate. Aditya Sindhi, he was trying to just get that opening. Rohit Mate as strong as ever. Also looks like Aditya might have crossed that offside line, the final line of defense. And got caught in that offside trap laid bare by the Orange Brigade. That's an all elusive ball in the opposition half. Too many long balls being played. Truth be told, however, the direction factor, the kind of precision that you'll expect on the long balls, that's been somewhat all over the place. That's an incredible ball. David has got a defender ahead, but if he can just dribble past, David with a wonderful ball and a crucial header to it as well. Nonetheless, Naroka wins it back, finds David again. And now David with the cross and somehow just steered away. The introduction of David has suddenly wakened up Naroka's left wing. And time again, David keeps on thrusting those balls into the box there. Once again, a slightly dodgy clearance. Nonetheless, cleared away for sure. And that's another lovely save from Wansanga. Brilliant shot. Sanatoi was incredible in the first half and now looking fairly good in the second as well. Shivajit with the shot corner. A little outside, a little inside. Falls back for Shivajit. Shivajit pushes it towards the second post. Neroka does well to recycle the ball back to their favor. And the turn just doesn't hit the right stride. Takes it away. We're almost close to an hour of football. An hour that has seen both teams testing out each other, definitely in the second half. The home side being a lot more active. We can see the fans now starting to turn up. Not really the chock-a-block stands that we are so used to when the game is in the hills. But it's always good to see a few fans enjoying football on a Saturday evening. The prestigious I-League 2 had a bit of a late start, slightly truncated this year because of that cramped football window that we had. But nonetheless, it's back on the road, it's hit the shelves, and now it's time that it goes on. It blooms majestically like it should. And that's a fine ball forward. Good control as well on the left. Decides to drag it back at the earliest. Now the gentle flick. David trying to connect with that. Just doesn't get it right. Aloysius laying it off. David trying to get that second ball in play. But David has been almost muscled down to play. Good square ball, lovely little touches as well. Once again, missing out on that shooting space. But now Neroca, they are looking dangerous. And that will definitely be a free kick, is it? Yes, it is. And Neroca might just have something to look forward to again. The last 10 minutes, Neroca FC, they have time and time again kept on knocking on the doors. And that's exactly what you would love to see from a team of Neroca's stature. Shibajit with the free kick. Just take some time, a bit of a chaos out in the box there. Also a player who's down, receiving that treatment. But these are testing times, these are troubling times for Delhi FC. And another change being brought on by Delhi. They're bringing in Tuan Lal. In place of Arjun Singh. Arjun looked in a bit of trouble in the first half. He's not doing well. Might be that
Substitution
his
was
coach
delayed
Lobsang
because
Dorji doesn't want to take any risk with him.
jersey number
Oh, that's a good ball and the equalizer.
Johnson
Shibajit with a brilliant ball
followed by
and a powerful header.
jersey number
No chance
24
whatsoever from Wan Sanga. It's all fair and square once again at the Kuman Lampak Stadium. And this is why Shibajit, he's so dangerous. He's so deadly. Wonderful ball at the near post. And more like a series of dominoes, things topple down. A bit of a back header. And Wan Sanga just couldn't keep that in play. Wanted to parry it forward, but ended up steering it into his own net. And all the cushion, all the early advantage that Delhi FC could secure has now blown into oblivion. And this is where how Delhi approaches from here will be a test of their nerves. The Orange Brigade, they have got players who can make all the difference in the world. They are a more experienced side than Delhi FC is. The only challenge is players like Shibajit, players like Amarjeet and Sanatoy as well. They make difference. They come in with
jersey
that
number
intensity.
FC
Delhi FC, they have already
scorer
tasted the sting
jersey number
from the very start of the second half. Slightly flatter
26
on that corner there. Needed a bit more
Right.
power from here. A possible counter-offensive might be launched into the stride of Aloysius, and Aloysius does well to control the ball. And now cuts in. Another cross-field delivery. David now switching to a bit of a central role. And it's David again. This man always delivers wherever he is. That one change from Gift Rekhan has completely transitioned Neroca into a side that understands the weight of urgency. And they'll try and start the I League 2 campaign with a win. And if not a win, at least a point. They're trailing for a while now. Then they came back. They came back strongly enough. Of course, a bit of help from Muan Sanga, who had his jitters in the first half as well, looked more confident in the second. And then one moment of madness proving to be his unraveling. Once again, a bit of trouble out there. Looked like Pratik was obstructed along the way while he was trying to collect the ball. And that's why the referee blew the whistle, laying down the law, awarding a free kick to Pratik Singh. That's been tonked out of the ground altogether. Just didn't want to take any risk. And Delhi now, after conceding the goal, might just have got something. Rohit trying to come up with that cross. Wonderful bit of work there by Arun Kumar Singh. Just put his body along the line of the ball. In this game, it continues to deliver from one end to the other, from one box to the other. Both the teams, they're putting in the kind of venom that you would expect. Akash Tirke. Yeah, looked like while he was trying to deliver the corner, might have already crossed. The referee once again blowing the whistle. What's interesting from here is, will Neroca eventually stick to the kind of pressure that they've inflicted on their counterparts? Another change. Sana's gonna come on. And Michael, he's off. Kind of a like for like replacement, both the players, but Michael, he operates more from the right. Sana will usually be a player allocated with that central role,
Substitution for Neroca FC.
which can force Suranjit Singh now to switch to the right. And instead of going in more from that 4-1-2-3 formation, they might just switch to a conventional 4-3-3
Jersey number 29,
with three attackers in the same line.
replaced by
That's a confirmation.
jersey number
Michael Singh's
14,
off.
Lorimer
Gotimayam
FC.
Muktasana making his way to the centre.
Jersey
And
number
that's well done by
22,
Rohit Matain. Followed the ball. Knew that didn't want to give away possession in the dying embers. Nonetheless, Delhi does well to win the ball back. And eventually, after a few trickles, the ball once again falls back for Neroca as they have the throw in their favour. It's been a game of two halves. The first half, of course, Delhi FC had their fair bit of say altogether. That's another one of those powerful knocks forward. And Juan Sangha now might just try to overcome it himself, to a bit of redressal for that earlier miss. What should have been a regulation gathering ended up in a catastrophe. Just couldn't get the ball out. But Shivajit Singh, what a delivery that. That's the quality, that's the experience that usually players like Shivajit Singh brings into the mix. Figuring out the weak links, figuring out the possible openings that can eventually trouble the opposition. That's a good ball, trying to get that glancing header in play. And now Shivaji trying to win it back ferociously. That's a cheap concession. Lucky for them that Neroca doesn't get the control that they were looking forward to. Delhi FC, they'll have to be very careful. They cannot afford to lose the ball in these junctures, especially outside their own box of theirs. It will open up space. It will allow Neroca to come in. And right now, they're going to attack with their tails up. They have the momentum in their sails. They have the wind in their favor. So you have to do the fundamentals right. The passing accuracy, getting the ball out of your harm's way without any complication. Get the simple things right. Because you don't want to give the ball away to Neroca in junctures like this. That's another lovely ball forward. Was there a little flick out there just outside? Well, the assistant referee says no, there wasn't. It's only going to be a goal kick from here on. Rohit once again following the line of the ball well enough. But that's well done. Himanshu Jangra. Oh, what a wonderful ball there. Didn't really look like that they were ready for it. Tuan Lal Tong Sing kind of realized it late that the ball has somehow found its way to him. But if he would have been ready, he actually could have gone on to pull the trigger. Because the ball from where Jangra played it had a couple of blockades along the way. That is why Tong Sing didn't really show that interest, possibly giving up that, right, the ball's not coming to me. But then it did come up, and it ended up in a bit of a dampener. Once again, good solid defending from Neroca there. But Himanshu Jangra continues to be the danger man. And this is what being with the same side for a while, aligning yourself to the philosophy, to the train of thoughts that they usually play the game with. It just helps you to, express yourself better. Himanshu Jangra has shown today that what is the quality that he can bring to the team. Justin will be coming in with that long throw. Was brilliant in the first half. In the second half, however, things looked shaky. Neroca, they were going all guns blazing, but ever since scoring that goal, they've been kind of forced onto a retreat there. Not entirely into the defensive third of theirs, but Delhi FC, they keep on coming. Rohit trying to steer it back into one of his teammates' path. Just doesn't get the space. This Neroca FC defense, it's always hustling and bustling, and the kind of intensity, kind of explosiveness that they crackle with in the back line, it's kind of hard to beat. This Delhi FC, when they got that goal of theirs from a set piece, and the Neroca FC, they returned the favour as well. Two defensive lapses, one goalkeeping lapse and one defensive lapse. Both of them punished mercilessly without being on the fence. And that's some composure there from Mohan Sangha. It's understandable. Mohan Sangha, very young contender, of course, has got the talent, has got the composure. There are times and games where even the most experienced people falter. It's just one of those moments for Mohan Sangha after he's had a good game. Yes, in the first half, there were a few chinks in his armor, but from there, things went really wrong for him. Then he conceded that goal as well, just to add salt to the wounds of Mohan Sangha. So that's exactly what he'll try and work upon. But it's a part and parcel of the game. It's a league, and in a league, there will be times, there will be days where you will punch heroically above your weight, and then there will be days where even the most ordinary things will go against you. It's a good cushioned header, but now Mohan Sangha does well. Followed the ball well enough, collected that, and lays it off for Himanshu as well. Himanshu just getting the ball a bit too far away from him. And in the Kumar Lampak Stadium, a lovely little peekaboo of the sun, as we can see a few moments ago. Kind of got a bit too cloudy, and now the sun's coming out. And the evening sun in these areas, it just amps up, it just enhances the beauty of these places. It's already a picturesque place, Imphal. We are enjoying the game out here. Alongside that, it also makes the weather very pleasant for football. So football is out in the mix. They will totally enjoy this particular moment. 16 minutes on the clock, of course. The tensions are at an all-time high. But then it's all about keeping your nerve. It's all about, hanging in there, and then possibly enjoy the conditions as well. Delhi FC, they have shown what young people can do. The likes of Akash Tirke rather, has been brilliant. The likes of Samson as well, Tuan Lal Thompson came in the second half. Himanshu Jangra, what a player. And at the other end, Neroca making a few changes during the half time were able to reap handsome dividends in the second half. Referee wanted to wait and watch there, hoping that maybe there was enough time for him to give out that advantage. Sadly, it wasn't. A couple of players was down, receiving treatment, of course. But so far, a decent exchange of two teams doing well enough. Two teams bringing out the much needed fire, looking good in terms of attacking intent, in terms of aggression. Defensively, of course, both the teams will try and work a bit more. Yeah, that was the collision. Almost both the players will hope that they are okay. And another change being brought on by Neroca, and it was met with some good
Substitution in
claps around the
Neroca
park.
FC. Jersey number 9, Aloysius, is replaced by
Quickly confirm, however,
jersey
who's the
number
one
2,
coming in.
Arun Kumar.
And Aloysius going off. Arunchki coming in. There was an early movement there. Neroca once again trying their luck. Arunchki straight away into the act and bringing in the much needed incentive for the entire side to go all guns blazing. Doesn't really look like Neroca. They're going to settle down for a point here. It's their home game. David knocks it forward to Sanatoy. Sanatoy latching onto the ball. Good bit of clearance coming in from Dhanajit. Coming up with that late slide and does well to steer the ball away from Sanatoy. Shivajit with the corner again. Bit of a distant corner. Sent to the extreme right. Ten minutes of regulation time remaining in this picture. Is there a late twist in the game? Only time shall reveal it all, but certainly Neroca FC, the Orange Brigade, They've looked like they can threaten their counterparts, especially with the changes coming on. David, him bringing all the fireworks, all the experience to the mix. It's good to see players who have been tested before. Another good ball. The target was to find Arunchki on the move out there, but it goes away from him. Looks like there was a bit of a knock along the way. Now the corner eludes everyone, and Arunchki, he'll go a long way to keep that in play. Does well. Now the curling ball in the box there, just away from David. But nonetheless, possession stays alive. It lingers around the box of Delhi FC. And Neroca threatening with every little knock into the box. Once again, a bit of space. And the cross towards the far side. But Arunchki just doesn't come close. The intensity keeps on increasing, kind of compounding itself from Neroca. And Shivajit Singh once again to deliver. Is all set to rattle that in. Not really the most promising corner that you will see, but it did open things up. This time a shorter one along the carpet. Wonderful turn. Drags it back. That shot should have been better. He's had all the time in the world. No pressure. No one blocking his way. He just kind of scrambled into it and simply tonked the ball out of the park. And that is where the difference is. If you want to stay in the hunt for the promotion to Star Cement IFL, you have to do better in these situations. At least try and test the goalkeeper. Can't just blast it out with no one pressurizing you, no one in front. Have the entire shooting lane at your behest. Tussle for the ball. David now dropping deep as well. And that's how good David is. A very versatile footballer, very like an excellent team man, one can say. Always there whenever needed. Justin with a long throw. Headed away. Oh, that was a good ball for Himanshu Jangra. Himanshu was kind of startled the way he had to get hold of the ball. Just didn't go in his favor. That's another ball forward. Chests it down. There are a couple of players. One on the left, one on the right. Arunchki on the right. And on the left, it's David. But at the end of the day, he himself couldn't control the ball. And now a free kick going Delhi's way. It looks like he's okay. He's all right. Once again into the hands of Pratik Singh. Pratik, he's had a good day in office today. Very calm, very composed, just the way your goalkeeper has got to give you the support. David now pushing hard for the ball. David, after that chaos, they do win the ball, but only for it to cross the line. A bit of overexcitement there from Sana just didn't help him in this case. Had to keep the ball under control. That little maneuver which he had, it took the ball out to the park, resulting in a throw in for Delhi FC. More like a perfunctory ball ahead, hoping that someone will be there to pick it up. No one wasn't. One Sangha, however, picks it up in no time. Didn't want to risk anything. The goal kicks so far from One Sangha, they've been really of high quality. Kind of power he's injecting into all of them. At the other end, Pratik as well, matching him pound for pound, blow for blow. David takes a little tumble. It looked like David had the first push. Once again, yeah, kind of unintentional from both the players. That's what football is all about. Delhi, I think the second half they have been a bit more reticent, to be honest. They tried, it's not that they haven't, but like the way in the first half they were brilliant. The second half they've been more at the receiving end of Neroca's attacks. They have tried hard to contend them, stifle them, suppress them. Haven't really been successful at all times. Just at one corner, however, peeking its way in. Loud shouts there from Mohan Sangha. Just go forward, go in front. Wasn't the case. One of those long goal kicks, every single goal kick that Mohan Sangha has hammered forward has just not helped him out so far. Because his teammates, again, a few has gone into the strides of Himanshu Jangra and he's done the heavy lifting. But apart from that, most of the balls that he's launched, he's done his job, but it's down to his own players how they come together. Because again, if that attacking unit is not coming together, plugging the gap, then things kind of take a different shape that you don't want to see. So that's a good ball forward. And Juan Sanga, he will be happy that he was standing ahead of the line because had he not been there, that could have been another attack in the making. Another one of those quick throw-ins. Tried to come up with one of those crossfield balls. The chase for the ball goes on. More like reacting to the ball, just trying to get anything to it. Won't really help Delhi. In Delhi, after dominating the first half, they'll be fairly disappointed with the way they have approached the second half. Could have been much better. Understandable that a team of Neroca stature is strong, and they come in with lots of challenges, trying to go for that crossfield delivery. The idea was to try and find Arunchki. Then Arunchki was away, and a decent bit of interception as well. Almost at the end of the regulation time, whatsoever gets added on, I reckon around 4 to 5 minutes, not too many stoppages. Even in the first half as well, there weren't too many stoppages, but once the additional minutes were added on, that is when the stoppages started coming in. A couple of players down, receiving treatment. Arunchki now on the ball.
4 minutes.
4 minutes of additional time. Arunchki going strong. Good little turnaround as well. Trying to find David on the left. Good forward touch. Trying to knock it forward, but Kishan Singh just couldn't get it right. Not really sure. First and foremost, he's lost his body shape. It's kind of inclined towards the back, that upper part of his body. That definitely got the direction all wrong. That was the first. The second one was also, I reckon, the angle from which he was delivering the cross didn't really favor him. Wasn't too sure of how he was going to hammer the ball in. And Sana goes on. Cheeky heel fleek there. David now launches it to the far side. Mohan Sanga does well to collect the ball. Phenomenal bit of collection altogether. Because in situations like these, you can't afford to spill the ball. A change here by Delhi FC. Suhail Khan is gonna come on board. Gets it long, just not cleared rightly enough. The ball, after a couple of bounces, eventually crosses the mark. Delhi FC, can they come in with a lead plunge? It felt like in the second half they've completely lost the plot. And this is what Neroca can do to you. You said at the start that Neroca would be expecting to fight their way back, to regain that lost glory of theirs. And certainly with David coming on in the second half, things have looked different rather. Rohit Rawat, the man who came on in the second half, was taken off, and now Arunchki, he's got the ball at his behest. A little knock to the right, and the cross blocked away. But now there's another corner that Delhi will have to deal with, and it might be very, very tricky. They will not like to concede from here. They've done so well to push this game until this juncture, being in an 1-all impasse. And the man to deliver it is going to be Sana. Sana curls the corner, headed away. There's still time remaining, a few seconds here. Didn't really look like it was the best of balls, but might be a corner, is it? No, the assistant referee says, in fact, it's a goal kick. And Delhi might just try and slow it down because they are right now under the pump, so they will not like to concede. They will not like to take any chances here. Also, a bit of game management, and looks like there's some serious injury concern as well. Might have just flipped that finger. No, that's not needed. He's all right. He's okay. Back on his feet as well. Is Neeraj Bhandari, the goal scorer. And with this, we come to the end of what was a good exchange of tactical brilliance. The first half belonged to Delhi FC. The second half, Neroca stamped their
The
authority
final
and
score for
snatched
today's
the all
match,
important goal back.
Neroca FC
Full time
1,
scoreline:
Delhi FC 1.
Neroca FC 1, Delhi FC 1. Both the sides did everything they
Ladies
could,
and gentlemen, we
and in
thank
this
you
tale
for
of
your
two
kind
halves,
support. Thank you.
of course, when both the coaches go back to the drawing board, they'll talk about what could have been done, what could have been better, what are the areas that they'll need to work about. Certainly, for both the sides, the defense was a spot of bother, and Naroka especially, they were good in terms of defensive solidity with the long balls, but every time Delhi they would start getting the ball on the ground is where the challenges were aplenty. At the other end, of course, Naroka they tried to win this as well towards the end. Well, that's the confirmation. Neroca Football Club 1, Delhi FC 1. That's the full time scoreline. We'll take a quick look at the highlights of the game. All started with the pre match rituals, and Himanshu Jangra had a couple of early movements. Good switches everywhere, a few brilliant balls as well being knocked into the box. The only problem was that they couldn't make the most of it. A few crucial saves, and then came the all important moment, the opening goal for Delhi FC. Hammered forward, and then a couple of brilliant link up bit of football altogether from Naroka. Naroka definitely looked like they were coming back. They kept on knocking on the doors, just couldn't get the right mix of precision. That was a wonderful save as well from Juan Sanga. The way he extended his body, palming it away. That was how the first half came to an end. The second half, it was a completely contrasting story. It was all Naroka. David, time and time again, threatening from the left, gave no space whatsoever. And then that was a wonderful ball as well from David. And that's where it all changed. A phenomenal free kick by Shivajit Singh and a crucial header. And since then, it was all about reviewing missed chances, coming close enough, doing every bit of hard work that was needed. But it just wasn't enough to get in with that killing blow, despite all the aggression. And once again, full time scoreline: Naroka FC 1, Delhi FC 1. And with this, we conclude today's picture. We have another clash coming up. Stay tuned for that. Until then, take care, stay safe. Thank you, everyone, for joining in.